Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lonely Boy Hour, the only podcast made by cringe for cringe. I am joined, as always, with my delightful host,
Hi.
Trazi.
Hi, it's me, Zoe or Trazi.
I'm your boy, the Noodle Doodler. Oh no, I'm your boy, the Noodle Doodler. And today we are joined with special guest Timmy the Mute. Timmy the Mute, what do you have to say about this? Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you for your input, Timmy the Mute.
Anyway, that is his entire appearance. He will be leaving now. He just sent us a very long-worded, full of swear words message about how we disrespect him on the podcast. So it's just going to be us two for the rest of the episode. Could you imagine being sued by a mute imaginary person? No, we have no guests today.
It's just us.
We have plenty of guests on board. We just don't have any that can record this week, and we need to put a podcast out in a few days. And I need to be able to edit the podcast out in a few days.
Yes.
It actually doesn't take that long to edit if we all are fine.
Yeah, which means it's usually just level.
Yeah. It's usually just level editing and then skipping out a few empty spaces if there was like some lag or something and we didn't hear each other and we had to like go, hey, wait, what'd you say? Or if we're all just silent because we don't know what to say.
Yep.
Like that. So before we get started, let's talk about our setup because I'll go first because mine's happy. I am in the new and improved studio, and by that I mean I got an extension cord in here.
Oh, nice.
And I've hooked up a power strip I put on the side of the wall in my closet, and I have fairy lights going through the top, like through the little ring, because we don't really use the closet. Like I have some clothes hung up in here, but it's just like jackets. So like, the little dowel you use to hang up clothes, I just have fairy lights going through it.
Nice. You've upgraded.
I figured... Which is funny because we're closer to the get out of the closet goal than we've ever been.
I know, we're exceptionally close.
It helps that I lowered the goal down to 150 instead of 200.
True. But you upgraded and I heavily downgraded. So I moved into a closet. Yeah. Because my new...
Wait.
Yes.
You're in a closet now?
I am in a closet
Welcome
now.
to the fam.
I know. I went from having a apartment room that I could do my recording in that was like nicely soundproofed by all the stuff, all the shit in there, to my new apartment, which has nothing on the walls or really anything at all. Like I'm a very heavy minimalist, so a lot of the stuff that was in the old apartment was Haley's, and since we're not living together right now, it's just my stuff, which I don't own that much. So I have to go buy soundproofing panels and stuff when I get the chance, because the only place I can record right now is an awkward hallway closet that has like 3 doors that I've hung blankets on and have all my clothes hanging up that were normally in my bedroom in this closet room, because otherwise everywhere else it sounds like I'm living in a literal cave.
That's exciting. Editor's note, even though I'm not editing right now, Haley is Zoe's partner. And also, if you'd like to help Zoe get out of the closet, you can donate to our Patreon.
Yeah,
So that's going to be our new motto, help us get out of the closet.
Kelvin, we have to figure out something else for the top tier, because someone is there now.
Yeah, we need to keep going higher.
Yeah.
We need to find something to do, or are you saying we need an even higher tier?
No, well, I mean both, but we need to figure out something to do for our top tier patron. I think that is something we should do something special, because I think that it's amazing.
I don't think we should do something for that. I don't think we need a special thing for being top tier patron, because it's almost a joke.
Right.
I think that we need to do something special for OSR Deadpool.
Yes.
For being our top tier patron.
Yes, and our first top tier patron, our first one.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be the only one for a while.
Well, he wasn't our first patron ever?
He was. He was our first patron.
Yeah.
And I love him. He's such a sweetheart.
He really is. He joined us for our first live show last week.
Yeah. We had our first live show, guys. It was delightful.
It was a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun. We played Cards Against Humanity. I tried to lower the price of the live show, and technically I could, but it's real annoying because I can't like just lower the price of that tier.
Yeah.
Because there's people who are on that tier, so I'm not allowed to change the price of it. But I could just move it down a tier, but then I'd have to move everything down a tier, and I don't want to do that.
I mean,
so
that's
that'd be
valid.
hella annoying.
So I mean, people can, if our followers and fans are upset, they can just email us at lonelyboyhour.com. We have our own website now. No, lonelyboyhour at gmail.com. so that they
That
can
could be a
tell us.
Patreon goal. Like, we start our own website that's
That would be
only
great.
helpful to us, basically.
But people can email us and tell us if they're angry that we haven't lowered that bar. Send us your angry threats.
Yeah, I can figure. I'm gonna have to rework the Patreon eventually because right now our goals are all like our tiers are all weird because I thought of them all on the fly.
Right.
I didn't like. I was just like, oh, we got to make a Patreon, by the way, because I was like, shit, I want to be able to afford funding. Because even when we first started talking about it, I was like, where am I going to record? Shit, I have to record my closet, don't I? Like, so I knew from the beginning, because that's why as we were talking, I was like, hey, I'm not really doing this for money. Having said that, we need equipment, so should we do a Patreon? And you were like, yeah.
Yeah.
Having said that, if this ever made enough for me to live off of, I would 1,000% do this full time.
If this made enough for me to live off of and pay off my student loans, I would 100% do this for a living. I love it.
Well, nothing would ever pay off your student loans.
I mean, you're right. But I'm working on it. I'm paying off my student loans from undergrad in my graduate program.
that's delightful.
The ultimate struggle. I'm gaining more debt as I'm paying off my debt.
That's fun.
It's like
I had the fortunate fate of getting a pretty good editing job while I was going to school for editing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like if I've definitely talked about this, but I went to college to become I wanted to be a director. That was the end goal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You'd think I would have made more sense if I took writing classes or something.
Right. If you did something that had actually to do with directing,
But like, yeah, I wanted to be a director. So what happened is I wanted to go to school to be a composer, and I would still love to be a composer. That's an amazing job. And then I was like, oh, no, let's be a sound engineer, which is, I guess, the closest I've gotten is this. And then I was like, no, I want to be an editor. So luckily, all the things I did fall under that same category as far like some of my music credits were basically useless, but a lot of the things I had been doing conveniently also worked for the audio and video production degree. So luckily, I got to flip-flop around a lot, like, because I feel like if you change your mind midway through college, that's an expensive decision.
Oh, I did that. I did that.
You...
Yep.
Honey.
I changed my major 3 times. I was a communication major. Then I was a biology major my plan was to go get my veterinary degree. And then I switched gears halfway through my sophomore year to become a art major. And I only graduated on time because I switched to a lower tier art major. So I'm a Bachelor of Arts instead of a Bachelor of Fine Arts. So like I just lost the fine. I'm not fine.
You're not fine. No, I got an audio video production bachelor, and I don't know what tuition normally is because I think Cal Arts is a really nice school. But my tuition was around $45,000 a year.
Oh, mine was not nearly that steep. Mine was probably in the 25 to 30,000 a year.
So if you want to help us pay off our student loans,
go to our Patreon, pay off our student loans. I just need to find someone who's willing to like send me money to talk on the phone. Like I could do a random phone call with a stranger like twice a week to pay off my loans.
Zoe, we talk on the phone to each other for an hour and a half every 2 weeks, and people give us money. You found it.
No, I mean like a rich benefactor, though. Like a sugar daddy, but where I only have to talk to them on the phone.
We don't even have to talk to them. I just talked about the fact that we have a $100 patron.
Right, but
what do you want from us?
But that $100 isn't going towards my student loans.
That's true.
It's
going towards my podcast debts.
Right.
If you want, like, once it's all through, I could send you $100 for your microphone. Because right now, all the money is going back into the podcast.
Yes, yeah.
So, with this month, I have to withdraw some of it still. I'm not going to talk too much about how much money we make on Patreon, even though it's public. But that's how I bought the power strip and the fairy lights and the extension cord.
Yeah? That's good.
I'm justifying that use of money.
No, I feel that. I'm gonna be buying my own soundproofing equipment just because I'm soundproofing so I can do Twitch now, because that's something I'm trying to really get off the ground. Is I love streaming games, and Twitch is really easy for that. So, shameless plug of my Twitch.
I've been having a fun little game I'm doing, which is I want to get back into YouTube.
Okay.
But what I used to do on YouTube was like vlogging content. And I feel like what I do on TikTok is what I had in mind when I was doing YouTube, and YouTube just isn't really a platform for the style I was going for.
Right.
So I want to get back into YouTube, but I don't know what genre I should be tackling, like what kind of content. So I'm just basically making a bunch of different videos right now, and then picking my favorites to upload.
That's smart. See, I originally, when I started TikTok and I started getting a following, I was like, I'm gonna go to YouTube. And then I started doing my videos for YouTube and editing them, and I was like, I fucking hate this. Like, I'm not, like, I don't like a lot of the ideas I have for YouTube with the budget I have, you know? So then I started doing Twitch, and now YouTube is just like a junkyard for all of the quote highlights or best moments of my Twitch streams, which are not, they're not great. They're not great.
I'll have to check it out sometimes. Guys, if you want to check that out, that is youtube.com. I don't know if you have your own little
It's
link,
Tragedy.
actually.
Yeah, I do have my name. Tragedy.
I need to fix my link because it's with my old name. It's all Calvin Noodles instead of the Noodle Doodler, even though my YouTube username is now the Noodle Doodler.
Oh, nice. I just want my Twitch or my Twitter. I want my fucking Twitter name, please.
Yeah, so Trazi and Noodle Doodler on Twitter. If you are hearing this, we'll pay you.
Yeah, I'll pay you.
We
have money now.
I want my. We make a whole triple-digit sum of money every month.
I will throw in a sweeter deal.
That can almost buy us groceries.
Oh, I know, right? Okay, I can throw in a sweeter deal. Okay, Tragedy on Twitter, right? Ready? I will give you a crisp high five.
And a foot pic.
and a foot pic and a picture of my trash. No, it's funny. I have a Patreon for no reason. I don't give it out to anybody. It's not available for anybody.
Yeah, whenever anyone talks about Patreon, I link back to this Patreon.
Yep. But I have one.
If you support me, support
use.
my podcast.
I have one for personal use. I've had it since I first started TikTok, because when I started TikTok, like they rolled out that thing where they were like, here's the new tier system, and if you get your account up before that, you don't have to, like, you'll be grandfathered into the old system, right? So it's like, I'll just make one, fuck it, for shits and giggles. So I have the Patreon for myself, and it's got, like, I update it for no reason, but it's got some random ass shit on there. And the only post that I have for public says, do not donate to this. It's not a thing. I won't block you. I'm gonna block people if they try to donate to my Patreon.
1 second, I have a Patreon to donate to.
I will fight you.
All right, guys, welcome to the last episode.
We've said that like in 3 different episodes. One of these days it's gonna be true and no one's gonna believe us.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's see here. Looking through your. Oh, I don't know if you did that based on me making the $1 tier called the Trashling.
That was that way. That was that way before that, actually.
So that's a pure coincidence. Yeah. That's so cool.
That's why when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, I love that," because I already have that. It was already my thing. Well,
I didn't know that. That was pure coincidence.
That's actually, I call my followers trashlings or litterbugs, but it's unofficial. I have never actually called them that ever in my
you have
stuff.
The hydrated and the true trash.
Yep, hydrated. It's those.
I do love that we now sell water bottles because like the whole joke day one when I was like, Zoe, let's make a podcast together. Someone was like, well, your merch can include water bottles. And I was like, oh yes, it better.
Have we sold any of those yet? Do you know?
We've sold a couple.
Have
not
we
too
really?
Many.
I'm impressed because I honestly thought that people would just be like, ha ha ha, it's funny, and then nobody would buy anything.
Well, to be fair, like, if you don't listen to our podcast, a water bottle that says hydrate or dihydrate still kind of is funny.
That's
so
true.
It has like some broad appeal.
That's true. Yeah. I still like the fact that I can't afford our own merch.
But like if I made a piece of merch that said like the Lonely Boy Hour on it, less people would want to buy it just because. And that's not to say I won't. Like I'm sure some people want it and rep our stuff, but some people would want to buy it just because it doesn't have broad appeal and they don't want to have to explain themselves constantly.
That's true. We're not quite big enough yet to just have people know our brand. We still need something that says Revive Fido. I need something that says Revive Fido. Yeah.
I'm working on some Fido merch.
Yeah? I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm looking on some Fido merch. I got some Burtis merch pending.
Oh, do you?
I gotta work. I gotta run some ideas by you later. I don't want to share my secrets.
Oh, don't share your secrets. Keep them secretive.
Don't do it.
Are we doing ASMR already?
Oh, we're always doing ASMR.
I mean, are we?
Welcome to the Lonely Boy ASMR podcast. Lonely podcast.
Well,
can you
hold on.
hear me?
Oh, that was an interesting sound. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Am I good?
Yeah. Hold on. So remember when you were talking about in the first episode?
Yeah.
About like someone whose voices squeaked in their ASMR.
Yeah.
That's what that sounded like, and I'm gonna have to turn it down. Or up. I haven't decided.
That was the sound of my pop filter being moved.
That was a hideous noise, and I hope you're ashamed of yourself.
I'm not.
I'm gonna back away from the mic now. So yeah. I think it's important that we have an ASMR section, just so people don't forget this is the podcast they know and love. I'd like to point out this podcast has given me so much joy and so much fear, because like now I'm constantly afraid that like I'm constantly in fear that like Wup Wup Merp is just going to like post something out of context.
Oh, yes.
Like I'm gonna go on TikTok and like I don't even remember when I said it, but it's gonna be like him posting an audio where I'm like, "Hi, my name is the Noodle Doodler and I hate the Jews" or something, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh no, my career is ruined."
I'm waiting for that.
I actually can think of something like he could have done the thing I said I was gonna do to Connor last episode, which I was going to do, but I ran out of time to like advertise for the podcast by doing that. Like I found the perfect moment. It was like Connor was like talking about cosplayers and he was making a joke. He's like, no, they gotta go. Or and I was like, I could work the Jew. Connor, how do you feel about the Jews? No, they gotta go. Like, and it would have been the perfect way to get people to listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I am 100% waiting for people to take audio clips out of context. It's not hard to do. And as we get more people, it's going to happen.
Time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know if I told you this, but I have a hard time keeping my mouth shut.
Oh, yeah.
About things I'm passionate about, you know.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
I can't even tell you all the racist things I've edited out from Zoe.
But
she does. She'll work it into conversation like you wouldn't believe.
People at the live show got to experience that.
Oh yeah, people got to see the. I don't want to make it sound like you can subscribe to our Patreon to hear us be racist. Actually, I don't want that to be something. It sounds like this is a joke, people.
Yeah,
please no.
Only when we play Cards Against Humanity, but. No, so I have a hard time.
Everyone's horrible. Everyone's a serial killer when we play Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah. So I have a hard time keeping my mouth shut when I'm passionate about something or excited about something. And I love this podcast. Like, I genuinely, like, this is my favorite part of the week when we record episodes. Like, this makes me so happy, which is not something I thought I would ever have about a podcast, because when we first started, I hated my voice. But I told myself when I got to my new job that I wasn't going to tell anyone that I did a podcast. I wasn't going to say shit, because I didn't want anybody to know, because if they found my podcast, they would find my TikTok.
Oh no.
And I didn't need that in my life. Well, we were talking about hobbies at the first day of training, and I couldn't keep my goddamn mouth shut. And I tell everyone I have a podcast. And the next thing that comes out of my mouth is, and it's BOI, not BOY. And so, of course, they ask me questions about that, because that's like normally I just tack that on there. And so one of the people is like, "Oh, I love podcasts. I'm gonna go listen to it." And I know now that I'm fucked, because I saw her on the TikTok app the other day before I told her this. So I know that she has TikTok, and I know she's gonna listen to the podcast. So, hey, Mackenzie, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you got this, I assume if she listened to any other episode, she didn't make it this far. But I was listening to our old episodes to make the Lonely Boy playlist, which is done now, by the way.
Is it?
And I realized that when we started the show, we wanted the song's recommendation to go before the final shill.
Yeah.
And we messed it up in episode 2 and just kept doing it after the shill.
I mean, it's fine as long as it's in there, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But yeah, I finished the play. It's missing some songs. I just did the ones that were available on Spotify.
yeah.
You didn't give me a Pharrell star song, so I just picked his most popular song for now.
Yeah, that's a good one. But
Yeah.
I think people like it. But I have the artist I'm going to talk about today, or I'm going to recommend today, actually is only on YouTube, so you won't be able to add her to the Spotify either. But she's so good, I can't not. You know.
You're a monster. How
You know
do
what
sleep
though?
At night?
Hopefully, getting hype on YouTube now will get that person to get on Spotify. See?
Maybe.
See?
Yeah. So stick to the end of the episode, or just skip there now and find out who the artist is, and just comment on all their videos. Add your music on Spotify for the Lonely Boy Hour.
Yeah.
And that's also free advertising for us.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Maybe we can
It's
have a
all
guest
it's
from
all
not
just
TikTok.
to the top. Yeah, a not TikTok guest. I mean, what was his name? Jimmy the Mute. What did I name the Mute?
I don't remember. I already lost it. They're not important.
Okay.
Until they sue us, it's not important.
Okay. I want to be clear. You're talking about the person, not mute people, right?
Yes.
I don't want to get angry messages.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
You scare me, Zoe. We have so many lawsuits just on my.
I know.
They've started coming to my house, and
Well, some of them aren't even making it to us because they're just being sent to gmail.com. So.
Yeah, because we mislead them.
I know. Yeah. Some people just don't listen and they send it to the wrong place when we tell them to send it there.
Yeah, when we actively go, hey, at gmail.com, send all your lawsuits. I don't know why, but they keep sending all their lawsuits to gmail.com.
Yeah.
I can't figure it out, Zoe. I've been trying to figure it out for weeks. I thought you knew.
I don't know. People usually don't follow instructions, but apparently when you tell them to send a bunch of mail and lawsuits to Gmail, they actually do it. Baffling to me. Baffling.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that people would listen when sending lawsuits. I can't believe that.
I can't with this bit.
I mean, we have nothing to do without guests. I actually did have some ideas for this episode, and I forgot about them. So, as we all know, this is the official TikTok news podcast. So let's talk about some TikTok news in a segment I like to call a glitch or a feature. Which is coined by some of our friends. So we can now, if you go to someone's profile, see the views of all of their videos.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that TikTok did this on purpose, or do you think that they messed up somehow?
I think that they messed up, and then they didn't want people to think they messed up, so they kept it.
I think they messed up, and they're like, oh, everyone thinks it's a feature, so we don't have to fix it as fast.
Yes. I absolutely loathe it. I do.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's such a weird add-on, really.
Right. And the only mentality I can have, right, devil's advocate, the only reason I can see that they would that they would actively do this, right, is so that people can't judge a video based on how many likes it gets. So in theory, it would get you more views in your videos. But the reality of it is it does the opposite, because the ones that get the most likes are the ones
get viewed more.
Right. So it's the same problem. The difference is that the ones that you don't get views on at all, that may have 1 or 2 likes, are not going to get any more views from new people that don't just start clicking on your videos. If they're swiping through, they're only going to stop the big ones, which isn't always it doesn't always define what your page is. And now people are talking about it, so it's drawing more attention to it. So a lot of people know about it now. Like, I never looked at likes before when it was likes on people's pages. But now that I'm actively aware that it's views, I find myself looking at them more often, which is frustrating for me as somebody looking for smaller creators to bring into my circle.
Yeah, it's so weird. Okay, next segment on our glitch or a feature. I don't know. I've been told that other people have had this for a while, but before with my stuff, I couldn't see the exact number of anything on TikTok. If it was over 1,000, it would just start
put a
going
K
into.
behind it.
Yeah, now I can see it up to 10,000.
It looks
I can
ugly.
see it up to 10. Yeah, I don't like it. It looks sloppy. I like the neat organization. I've been told other people had this before, which is why I'm putting it in the glitch or a feature setting.
I think that it just depends, because I think it's the same problem that people have had with the slow updates. I think that TikTok rolls out stuff at different speeds for different generations of phones and different types of phones, which is a problem, and they need to fix that. But I think that it's a feature that just rolled out really slow.
Yeah.
But I don't like it.
I don't know. Because that was like what people had going on when I started, and I don't think it took them 7 months to get to me, you know?
I mean, yeah. They could be doing it by region, though.
Maybe. Just response to that, I knew that Kels from When Fandom Strikes had it, because I used to go to her reaction lives, and we are both I'm in the South, she's in New England, and those aren't very far away. Yeah. This has become less of a joke podcast and more of like a conspiracy theories on the platform we're known on podcast.
Today on the Lonely Boy Hour conspiracy theory, glitch
Bum,
or
bum.
feature.
Bum 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 bum. Oh
my God.
Bum bum bum.
Well, in that vein,
no.
What do you think about the gift beta that came out and then was removed? How do you feel about that?
I didn't catch it in time. I haven't been doing live streams or anything like that. What you're gonna have to explain it to me, because I heard it happen, but I didn't hear what happened.
Yeah, so there was a rollout of a new type of gift when live streams got its first refresh. That only rolled out to certain people. And what was happening was people would be trying to donate with these gifts that were like weird numbers, like they would end in like 9s instead of 5s, and they would have like weird values associated with them.
Oh, gross.
Assuming that was so that people would have to buy more gift money, because they would have like weird, odd balances at the end, right? Because they couldn't spend it all. The problem was people who didn't have the update, if people donated those gifts to them, the people who were like live weren't getting the gift notifications, because they didn't have that gift available on their phone, on their device. And so those gifts have been since removed, but I think that was really, really, really bad practice on TikToks not to come up with a failsafe for that system.
Oh yeah, that is weird. Well, I mean, while we're doing conspiracy theories, I don't have any conspiracy theories. Welcome to the Conspiracy Hour.
Next podcast.
It's just pure conspiracy theories. All about TikTok, nothing serious, like, I don't know, what's chemtrails? We're not talking about chemtrails. We're talking about like TikTok doing nefarious things. I feel like people, and it's the same with YouTube, like people treat TikTok and like basically anything with an algorithm like it's out to get everyone.
Right.
And like YouTube has made bad choices, and TikTok has made bad choices.
Any big social media site will make bad choices though, because they're so large, they have a big impact. Yeah.
So like people are like, oh, TikTok's doing this just to fuck with creators or whatever. Like what's a good example? Well, first of all, everyone doesn't seem to know how the For You page works.
Nobody does.
Nobody knows. They're like, oh, this better get on the For You page. And I'm like, it will probably get on there for a person. Yes.
Right. It'll get on there for someone. Even people
it's
who
not
know
like
how,
everyone, yeah.
Even people who know how it works don't know how it works, though.
Yeah. It's just it's a customized page based on the things you liked, and people who liked that same post also liked, and general creators, and it's not complicated, but it's interesting. Like, it's not simple.
Yeah. Do you have that feature where you can talk over top of duets now?
Reactions? Are you talking about reactions?
No. So apparently there's a feature now. I saw it on somebody, I can't remember who it was that put the video out. It was a decently big creator. And they did a duet saying that they can talk like they were talking during the duet, and you could hear their voice. But their voice wasn't in the original audio of that duet. So like some people can talk over top of duets to like add their own audio to the duet.
I'll have to look at that, because I'm against that idea.
I agree.
Like, yeah, they could have just been playing a trick on you. It's not too hard to do.
Possibly, but I saw it a few times. So if it was a trick, then it was multiple people doing it, which I don't usually see when it comes to that kind of stuff. Usually they'll put like the sarcastic caption, but
yeah, because like Because like even the other day, I was looking at this thing.
Are you
and it was a
talking about
video.
the one with the person who jumps through the frame, but it's not really a frame?
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
you saw it, yeah.
I sent that to you, I think.
No, I saw it on my. It came up on my. Someone reacting to it. It was one of those videos where someone was just watching it and looking confused and surprised, like that's content.
Yeah.
Was one of those, and I was reading through those comments, and then I clicked on that video and read through all those comments, and there were so many weird guesses. They're like, "Oh, she used a green screen," or "Oh, she did this, that, and the other thing," and I'm like, "No, what?" Ooh,
Yeah, it's a really
she
easy...
duetted herself and then compressed the video, and I was like, she would look so weird. So I just made a very dumb video where it was just like, hey, this is one frame, this is still the same frame, this is still the same frame. Wow, it was golly gee, a freeze frame from right before I start walking over, like
Yeah.
of half the screen. It took me like 5 minutes to make.
I do think that was an interesting video though. Because some people do get, like, it did, when I first watched it, it did give me pause, because I was like, some people I know have gotten that smooth of a transition, but not with that kind of frame.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where I've debated for a while, but just hadn't had the motivation to start doing a series where I just break down how people are doing certain tricks on TikTok. Just because there's
I think
always...
that's a great idea.
Yeah, I just, it takes a lot of time to do that. Like, there's this YouTuber, and I don't, his name is Captain Disillusion, and he's like one of my favorite creators on YouTube. And that's all he does is he just like debunks viral. He used to do it. He does a bunch of other stuff as well now. But his primary, like, most popular thing he's done is debunk, like paranormal or supernatural or magical, like viral videos.
Right.
Anything fake, really. I've been binging him recently, and I was like, I should do that for TikTok, but I just haven't. Which is most of my TikTok career is like, ooh, all these grand ideas, or I could just not.
all these great things that I could do, but I don't have the funds or the will to want to do them.
Or the motivation to do anything.
Right. Oh my God. This week has been so long for me. So I think I told you that my training for my new job goes from 8 o'clock every morning until, well, I get up at like 6, but so I'm up at 6 o'clock, and then I usually get done around 5, but doing self projects and like doing my research and doing my reflections and stuff takes me until around like 8 or 9 o'clock, and then I go to sleep. But next week I'm going to be doing, get this, 8 o'clocks. I have to 8 o'clock training, right? To 9:30 at night, and then I have to prepare for opening and resident movement after that time.
Oh shit, my soup.
So talk about not having any motivation for literally anything. My life is turning to
You're not
hell.
going to be making TikToks, right?
I will be. I will be making as many TikToks as I physically can in that time period. I was supposed to roll out a new OC this week. That's not happening because I just don't have the time to get into OC. I was supposed to do some more Azella videos, and that's not happening because I just don't have time to get into the OC. I've posted, I think this week, maybe 7 videos total because I just haven't had time. It's a mess. I was expecting overload work, but I wasn't expecting so many out of office hours, which is it's new here.
Are you making the big bucks at least?
No, I'm not getting paid until the second week of September.
That's so upsetting.
I'll get a beautiful paycheck of like $800 then, but that's it.
That's so sad.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Zoe.
But
for your sad life.
But they are paying for a full ride of my they're paying for a full 9 credits of my graduate school, so I can't really complain.
9 credits.
A whole 9.
Whoa.
This semester I'm only taking 10 credits, so.
Oh, so you only had to pay for 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then like the financial fees and stuff like that, like the registration fees and those kind of things that they have.
Wow.
The adult things.
You're an adult thing.
Am I?
At least I hope. I hope so. We've talked about sending foot pics to people, so.
Do you have to be an adult to send foot pics, though? I mean, yeah.
I would prefer if you were, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if they're going to be used for explicit things. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what people use foot pics for. I'm too wholesome. Let me try that one again with a straight face. I'm too wholesome.
Wholesome I never thought I would hear you call yourself that. I don't think anyone has ever called you that.
No, it happens all the time. People consider me wholesome, which confuses me because I guess it's because like as far as like inappropriate TikTokers go, I don't talk about too much I swear a lot, but I don't talk too much about sexual matters, I guess.
That's true. That's true. I get called wholesome a lot because I do the motivational stuff, the 15 seconds of motivation and those kind of things.
I think wholesome has kind of evolved to mean more like nice. It doesn't mean that you're not like swearing or talking about inappropriate things. It's just that you're a pleasant person, which again does not match my motto at all. Most of my videos that are popular are me being upset or me telling you how to psychologically damage the people you're playing Dungeons and Dragons with.
I have found a plethora more of those videos telling me how to be a bad DM or a good DM, as they claim, on my For You page.
Are you talking about DM tips?
Yeah, DM tips, but like not. They're a lot of them are like they're not like tips though. They're like they're like scenarios. So like do this thing with your players instead of like if your players are doing this, do this thing. And I just every time I hear them, I write them down because I do DM. And I'm going to use every one of them I find, and I'm going to call it a junk campaign. And that's what it's going to be. It's just all of the stupid tips and the stupid, like, scenarios TikTok people give me.
So, Zoe, I don't know if you know this. I also DM Dungeons and Dragons.
Do you? I didn't know.
I bet you didn't. I know that I'm your DM for a game. In fact, I think you're the only game where you're not the DM. I think I'm the DM.
You're the only game I'm currently playing or have played in, like, the last 2 years that I haven't hosted.
I'm your dungeon daddy.
Yes.
Which is a joke that we're gonna have to explain because I realize that we don't
explain it. Just let people assume the worst.
It's okay. I love all the jokes that have been created because we basically like with the help of Outlive, who definitely needs to be on the podcast. Yes. We have created a cult.
Yes. The Lonely Boys have become a force.
Between the podcast, the outfits, we all bought the same outfit. If you're watching the visual version, I'll put the pictures of us wearing those outfits on screen.
Look at it; it's so majestic. It's our super suit.
I'm just gonna put you and I, but we got a horde of people to also buy this ridiculous romper, as I like to call it. And then on top of that, with the Do You Like podcasts and the fact that I am referred to as Dungeon Daddy because that was my choice of DM name. Like we've just become this weird cult, and I'm definitely here for it.
I love it.
Because we're not like big names like the four core like columns of the Lonely Boys. I'm the highest at like 44,000, and like, so we're not big creators.
We're not, but we have, us collective have some of the most loyal followers and fans. And it's usually all the same followers. Like, yeah, like they go like if we needed them to just like swarm.
Yeah, like just this weekend I went to a TikTok meetup and I met one of our podcast fans, Dan177.
Oh, I love Dan. Dan is an amazing human.
Isn't he just wholesome?
He is.
But I got to meet him, and he is just a delight. I really enjoyed talking to him. We didn't get to talk too much because there was like 100 people there.
Right.
But like we sat down and talked for a bit. I immediately recognized him because he wears the same hat all the time.
Yes, he does.
Also, we all had name tags, but I didn't know who he was as soon as I got there. So if you're listening to this, Sedan, because he told me that he didn't actually start following me until the podcast.
Really?
Which I think is great. Because I think for the most part, the podcast popularity comes, I think from both of us. I think it's a little more me just because I have more followers, but also you have more ravenous followers, so they flocked to the podcast much quicker.
My followers are a force to be reckoned with. Actually, I can't remember who it was. Somebody the other day I was talking about how I wanted to be an influencer of some sort. And she was like, you are an influencer. She's like, all these kids that didn't know what podcasts were, that now apparently we have a lot of my younger followers who listen to the podcast. And I didn't know that. I have to
start checking out these statistics then.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
So, I mean, I'm assuming when we say younger followers, I know I have a lot of young followers, but I can't imagine anyone that's like 9 years old listens to my podcast unless their parents have set it up for them because, like, I don't know how smart kids are with technology, but like I feel like a podcast isn't something that kids look up. But apparently a lot of my teenage and my tween followers have gone and found the podcast because they want to listen
Get
to
it?
something
'Cause
I'm
we're
passionate
childish.
about. Yes.
Um,
But I thought that was really cool. I'm like, yeah, I do agree. My followers are very like, if I ask them to do something, I'll have, upwards of 1,000 people that just jump on it, and it's really amazing.
it's insane because I
Yeah.
can't get my followers to do anything. Like,
You should take
which
lessons
is
from
not-
me.
No, I'm kidding. I do have a very dedicated fan base, which is terrifying of a thing to like have, because if I say the wrong thing, someone's going to get hurt.
Yes.
I feel like the guy who played Steve on Blue's Clues.
Yes.
He's amazing, for the record. He was in a band.
Yep.
He showed up to his audition with hair down past his shoulders. He had piercings in. He was wearing a Metallica t-shirt because he thought it was a voice acting job.
Yes.
Thought he was playing like a cartoon character. And they were like, that guy, he's perfect. I don't know what one. But he quit. He quit because he was terrified because he was influential to children and he didn't want that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at. And I think from what I gather, and I think it's because they're the more vocal people, but I have an older audience. Like I have people in there, or most of my fans are people in the like 18 to 20 range, 18 to like 30 range.
Yep.
I might not be true. Those are just the ones who comment more and stuff like that. And I interact with more. But I think I have an older audience, but it's still terrifying to know that I have any influence over anyone. Normally, I don't even have an influence over my pets. Like, they just kind of go where they want. And now I have an influence over, like, some level of influence over 44,000 people.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've noticed that your followers, and then also a Dadley Jenkins, have older people, and like it tends to be that way. Like the majority of the people are older. Most of my followers that I've noticed are variety range. Like I have really, really young audiences who have parental permission. I always check if I know that they're really young. And then I have like older like adults too, and I have like a wide range. But I've noticed that that's not really the case with a lot of creators. A lot of creators get in this niche where they have like one or two generations, and I have like all the fucking generations, and it's really weird for me because I feel like a variety creator on TikTok because of it.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It is. It's so weird. Like to have that power, and it's terrifying. I don't know. It's kind of a weird mixed bag because it's nice to know like if I'm having a bad day or something, I can just click the live option on recording, and then I can have something to distract me.
Right.
Not essentially
And
be like,
people
oh,
that'll
I
talk
need
with
help,
you.
guys, but people who will just talk. I don't know. I like when I talk about my problems, I like to talk about someone I know, trust, or is a trained professional. So I try not to talk too much about my problems on streams, but it's nice to have that like so I don't feel alone kind of deal.
Right.
And just have that at the push of a button any hour of the day.
Right.
Because I have done live streams at every time, and there's always at least a few people, and it's so crazy to me. And this is the sappy part of the podcast. We normally have guests to drown us out and make fun of us, but not this week. We just get sad.
You get sad and sappy.
Sad and sappy.
Well,
I had an idea, but we're kind of halfway through the podcast, so I don't know if we should do it at this point.
What is it, though?
Last time we did a solo episode, we answered icebreakers for children.
Yes.
Which is so I wanted to the other way around, and I wanted to answer all the questions for setting up an eHarmony account.
Can we please? Do we have enough time? I would love that.
We can do it probably. Let's see.
Also, have you thought about, while you're getting that up, have you thought about what would happen, what you would do if TikTok died? Because I've been having some really big thoughts. Like, I don't expect it to die anytime soon, but now that I've like been thinking about it and become what I consider popular, like I have very active users on my page, I've been thinking a lot about like how I'm gonna get people to find me, like to come and follow me to other sources if TikTok does spontaneously go out.
I'm scared now. You got me scared.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that way. I was just curious if you had a plan.
I guess like if TikTok dies, I'm done. That's the end of me.
What do you mean? Don't be like that. Don't be like
not
that.
like I'm gonna die. I just don't think I'm gonna have anything else. Like,
what do you mean? You said you're working on some YouTube stuff. Come on.
I mean, maybe like.
Yeah, you'll become one of those Viners that like did the Vine and then never shows up anywhere else, and people just miss them.
Yeah, no, I think I would continue YouTube, but I feel like it'd be like a Drew Gooden kind of deal. I don't know if you know the YouTube group Drew Gooden, where I kind of have to start over because I don't have he had 400,000 followers on Vine, and he's now long past that on YouTube, but he basically just had to start over on YouTube.
Right, right.
And I commend him for that. Like he's doing great. I'm actually going to see his tour in like 2 months.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's on tour with Danny Gonzalez.
Oh, enjoy that.
In a tour called "We're Two Different People," or "We're Not the Same Person," because there's just a lot of jokes that they're actually just the same person. Because they both do like reaction videos. Much how a lot of people think that we're both just one of us putting on a silly voice. That's not at all true.
I'm about to say, do people really think that? Because I don't think we sound like anywhere near each other.
Or those people who theorize that Connor, Taz, and Roomba are brothers, which couldn't be true, because otherwise they would have told us, obviously.
Obviously they would have. Obviously.
Okay.
Not salty.
So, yeah, no. For the record, turns out Roomba 2017, our two guests last week were brothers, and they didn't tell us. They had us fucking going, too, because we're like, wow, you guys, there's like this glitch, and Connor, you're muted, but you're like, whenever you talk, it does the Liam's like little green ring on Discord, and they're like, wow, that's so weird. Is it still doing it? Let me try this. Like,
I was suspicious when I first saw Roomba on TikTok, because they look similar. But I had a moment, I was like, when Connor Taz did that thing, I was like, especially when we were talking about having them both on the podcast, I was like, he would say something, right? Like, just to give us context so we don't look like fools. And then he didn't. And
joke's on him, though, because his account's suspended now.
I know, that's scary a little bit, actually.
Yeah, that can just happen. And I don't know the full story, and we have theories, everyone does, but we don't have the full story, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But that's just a terrifying thing to have, that could just happen.
Yeah.
So I got the eHarmony questions up now.
Okay. Right.
You have to like actually make an account for it to let you, and so we can either actually make an eHarmony account together, which sounds like a nightmare, or we can just go through what I found was an example of the questions.
Whichever you prefer. I think
let's just go through this example. Okay. Just because I think eHarmony costs money. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
So
I don't know if you can set up your profile before or after you pay. I can't remember.
Let me try. eHarmony.
There is no try. There is only the do.
This episode sponsored by Mountain Dew.
We haven't talked about any sponsorships, and we still haven't gotten any. I want
sad.
A Blue Apron subscription.
I actually have a story with this. I contacted Real Alkalized Water, and they asked for like our view count, and I fluffed it a little bit. I didn't fully lie. And then they asked for the name of the podcast, and I sent it to them, and I did not get a response. So I tried. So, okay. So
if you're listening to this,
start free today. I am a man or woman seeking a man or woman. I'm gonna go with man. I think just for. Okay, so when you click man, it automatically fills in seeking a woman. So I'm just gonna seek in. Oh no, you can't pick both. You can either be seeking a man or you could be seeking a woman.
Ooh. They need to get their system updated. How dare.
Because it's fine. Because you can be a man seeking a man, apparently. But you can't be a man. Like, it's not like they're against gays. They're against bis. I won't stand for this.
Everyone's against bis. The world's not built for them.
I'm going to give us a straight profile just as, like, a joke. Hi, what's your name? Our name is... we need to get, like, a ship name for the two of us and make that it.
Trude?
Trude. Let's call it Trude.
Trood.
Our name is Trude. We're from the United States.
Trudes with a Z at the end. Trudes.
Okay. Troodle Doodler. Trazadoodler.
Troodle-doodle?
Anyway, I'm just gonna use my zip code. Let's go.
Let's do
God
this.
damn it! I gotta put an email in, so I'm 1,000% using the Lonely Boy Hour
Oh,
email.
please use our Lonely Boy email.
I'm gonna have to put so many things in the spam folder. Where'd you hear
You
about
know-
us? Word of mouth.
Podcast.
Find my matches.
Put the podcast.
It's too late now. Share a bit about yourself. Okay, let's see. How many children do we have, Zoe?
Let's see.
How many children do you? No. How many children do you have? We gotta answer this
How many kids
semi-honestly.
do I have?
You
Like-
as a real person.
Like biological children or children I have
Let's go with
unofficially
biological.
adopted? 0.
Let's go. Okay, I also have no kids. We gotta answer
no
this
kids.
semi-honestly. Where do you live? We're not. I live in Nashville, but we're just gonna put that in.
Just put New York.
Too late now. When were
Damn
you
it.
born? I'm gonna put in my birthday.
We should put. I was gonna say we should put in the birthday of the podcast, but then we wouldn't be old enough.
Oh, we're gonna put the birthday of the podcast, which I think is May, like something. I need to look it up real quick. I could just cut this part out as I go look it up.
Do,
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 do, do, do.
do, 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 do.
Do 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 do. May 20th.
May 20th.
Figured it out.
Wow.
Yep.
We've been
The
doing
first
this a
episode
long
dropped
time.
on May 20th, and we're gonna say 1998 because that was the year I was born.
Okay.
What's our
You were
ethnicity?
born after me. You're younger than me.
We've been over this before, Zoe. I'm 21.
I always forget that you and Bradley are both younger than me.
Yeah, I always feel
so old.
okay, so are we white, Hispanic, African,
I mean,
Asian,
I'm white.
Indian, Chinese, Native American, Middle Eastern, Korean, Japanese, or other? We're white. We're both very white.
Yes.
What would you do to describe your religious beliefs? Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, S-I-K-H. Is that a religion you know about?
I don't know that one.
Shinto, other. I'm gonna be so upset. I'm gonna be like so sad if someone points out that we are pronouncing these wrong. But I'm sorry. Spiritual, but not religious. Listen, I'm
That
not
would be me.
religious, but I'm spiritual. I am neither religious nor spiritual. Baha, I don't want to mess that one up, so I'm just not going to. Caodai, C-A-O-O-D-A-I. We got Confucianism, Jainism, Christian Science, and Rastafarianism. I'll let us, as a group, I'll let us be spiritual.
Okay, yeah.
You got enough spirit for the both of us.
Yes, indeed. All of the spirit. Woo.
Which describes your highest level of education. So what do you got?
I'm getting my master's degree, but I graduated with a bachelor's.
Do you have it? I have a bachelor's too.
So we both have a
So let's
bachelor's.
go with that. Yeah. I am A/N. We're going to go with podcaster.
Oh my god.
We
I am
cast
a podcast. No, just put I am a podcast.
Too late.
Damn it.
Okay, it's time for our personal income, which is how much we make. So I'm just going to include the podcast income, which is less than $20,000 a year.
Yes. We make
So what I'm going to do is I'm
nothing.
just going to average out all of these questions. So how often do you smoke, Zoe?
smoke what?
It just says how often do you smoke?
So
So our options are
like-
never, socially, once a week, a few times, or daily.
socially.
I very
Not that
rarely
tobacco
smoke.
though.
Yeah, I've smoked the other stuff a few times. I'm not a fan of it, but I'll do it. So I'm just gonna go with socially as our rounded out answer. How often do you drink? We have never, on special occasions, once a week, a few times a week, or daily.
Never, but I don't smoke. I don't drink that often because if I normally if
'cause
I'm
you're
gonna
a
drink,
lightweight.
I smoke instead. Yeah.
Last time you drank that I know of was on my birthday.
Yes, that was
and
the last time.
You had like very little by comparison because I think I was chugging and you were sipping and I was considerably more sober.
Well,
on special occasions it is because that was my birthday. How
Well, on
tall
your
are you,
birthday,
Zoe?
I am 5 foot. My license is 5'3", so we're going with that.
So you're 5'2". I'm
I'm
6'2". So we're gonna be 5'11". That sound good to you?
Great.
Between
That
the
sounds
two
way
of us,
better
we
than
are.
mine.
What are you passionate about? And it says be
Podcasts.
yourself. And I'm just gonna put podcasts.
Wearing pants. Fido the robotic dog.
So I'm gonna put podcasts, wearing
Hydration.
pants. I'm gonna put wearing pants, and then in parentheses I'm gonna put or not. Fido. And hydration. I love that I'm doing something
Nailed it.
visual and we're doing it on the podcast.
Yes.
This looks good. What are 2 or 3 things you enjoy doing with your leisure time? Podcasts. I keep saying podcasts and then having to fix it. Podcasts.
It's okay. Podcasts is how I say it now.
Podcast.
With an
podcast.
E. P-O-E.
Yep.
P-O-D-E.
And
Podcasts
hydrating.
And hydrating. Yes.
Okay, this looks good. Next question. What are the 3 things you're thankful for?
That I'm breathing.
Podcasts. Podcast. So I'm going to put podcasts. This is such a stupid thing to do. Water.
Yes.
And Fido the robotic
Fido
dog.
the robotic dog.
I'm gonna put Fido I'm gonna put Fido right, and then in parentheses I'm gonna put the robotic dog.
I love it.
This is not how to make an eHarmony account. This looks good.
This is how you find relationships on eHarmony right here.
You're on your way to meet someone great. People who are uniquely matched. Tell us who you're looking for. I'm looking for someone between the age of, you can't make it go lower than 18, which is a good safety precaution.
That's good.
But 18, anywhere from 18 to 99 years old. If you are 100, if you just turned 100, delete your fucking account. You have to make sure you have at least 6 years between your min and max age range. If you've just had your 100th birthday, get off eHarmony, you're going to die alone.
I'm
going to feel so bad. We have no viewers in that age range, but I'm still going to feel bad. So I'm going to set it from 18 to 99 years old.
Yes.
Because we don't discriminate on this podcast.
No, we love all
How
ages.
far should your matches be? Anywhere in the world.
Yes.
How
Anywhere.
important is the distance of your match? Not at all.
Matter.
So there's not at all important, which means it can search outside my range. Somewhat important.
We said the whole world, right?
Yeah,
so just to put not
or
important.
search not important. So if you can find someone out of this world,
so
Zoe,
astronauts,
Zoe,
aliens,
I don't
we
like
got
you like this, but you're out of this world. Take our compatibility quiz. Okay. This is on a scale, like, there's, like, middle, and then there's left, right, and there's, like, in-betweens, but it's, like, a scale of 7 dots on a scale of not at all to very well. How well does this generally describe you? Warm. So I would say very well, because I am a human radiator.
I'm warm on the inside.
So
not
we're
on the
going very
outside.
well. Clever. I'm going to go with a little bit below somewhat. No, somewhat clever. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have a podcast. We're pretty clever.
Oh, this is going to be so interesting because the next word is dominant, and we've already talked about in the live show how I have top energy on this podcast and you have bottom energy.
So much bottom
because
energy.
You stutter through like the show, and I'm like, oh, good job, honey. Do you need me to do it? Like. So I'm just going to put it in the middle at somewhat.
Sweetie.
We're somewhat dominant.
We're somewhat dominant.
But as a unit, we are somewhat dominant.
Yes.
Outgoing. Are we outgoing?
I mean, I feel like we are. I feel like as a unit we are.
Let's
I'm
go.
pretty outgoing.
I'm going to go, like I said, there's 7 dots. I'm going to put the second to highest dot.
Okay. Sounds great. Number 6.
Quarrelsome. Quarrelsome. They didn't say problematic. We're very quarrelsome. Very well. Stable, not at all.
Nope, not at all.
Energetic, very well.
Oh, very. That's
Predictable, somewhat. No, let's do the dot before not at all.
Okay, perfect.
Affectionate. How affectionate are you, Zoe? Can I call Haley up? I'm sorry, her name's not Haley. Her name's Babe. But can I call her?
Babe.
Can I call her right now on the podcast? Bring her in. So,
I mean, I'm affectionate with people I know, but I'm not affectionate with strangers at all.
So let's do somewhat, because I'm very affectionate, just as a person. Intelligent.
Oh, I mean, I'm at the top of the scale. We might have to choose middle because of you, but like...
I'm going to pick a one above middle, but I will take full blame. I'm just an idiot. Boy. How well does this generally describe you? Attractive.
Oh, we are smoking hot.
Very well. We are the snackiest snacks. Have you seen our outfits? They're on screen again.
We're a whole damn meal.
All right. Compassionate.
I mean, we're passionate.
We don't have cum, but we're passionate. That was the worst joke I've made. We're gonna do a dot. We're gonna do one of the dots in between very well. Loyal. I have no loyalty to you, Zoe. I will replace you with any other podcast host at a moment notice.
Damn.
I'm kidding. I love
loyal
you.
to a fault.
Okay.
I will take a bullet for you.
Oh, shucks. It's funny you mentioned that. I have this bullet I'm trying to get rid of. No.
Oh, good.
Mail it to your house. Anyway, witty. Our next one is witty.
I don't know. Do you think we're witty, Kelvin?
I'm going to put somewhat. We're somewhat witty.
Somewhat?
Yeah. Sensitive. We're a bunch of sensitive souls. I'm going to put somewhat, and I'm going to put as a unit as podcasters, because you told me how sad you get when people don't like the podcast, and I love it when people don't like the podcast. So we're going to put somewhat.
It hurts me when people don't like this podcast, because,
we're going to put, our next question is generous. How generous are you, Zoe?
It depends. It really depends.
I'm going to put a little bit in between somewhat and very well, because let me tell you, we are generous to hand out this flaming pile of podcast garbage every week.
Yes.
Every other week. Okay.
Every other week.
The next one is sensual.
My voice is pretty sensual, I've been told, but...
You got a sensual. I would consider your voice somewhat sensual. No.
Okay.
Hetero, homo, whatever you got going on. No.
No romantio?
No Romo. There we go.
No Romo. Get
sensual.
That on a shirt.
I think that's already a saying, but we'll find out. Sensual. I'm going to say we're somewhat sensual. Oh, God. How well does this describe your physical appearance? Stylish. I'm going to put very well, because I'm putting the outfits back on screen. Look at those.
We are the top of fashion, the peak of fashion.
Okay, athletic. I got dad bod for days, so what you got going on, Zoe?
I mean, I'm pretty athletic. I haven't worked out in like 2 weeks because the place hasn't been open by me, but I like to work out, and I'm pretty well. I'm unhealthy, but I'm fit for being unhealthy.
I work out, but it doesn't look like it. Like, I'm gonna post a pic. I'm gonna put a picture of what I look like today at the dog park, and I got dad bod. It doesn't help that in the photo I have in mind, I'm wearing flip flops, sunglasses, cargo shorts, and a purple T-shirt. But
yeah, that doesn't help.
I got dad everything. I'm gonna put a dot below very well.
Okay, because I'm pretty fit, but I've got those birthing hips, as they so kindly call it, you know?
Yeah, you got good birthing hips. Hey, girl, I like your birthing hips.
Who calls it that, really? Yeah, nobody.
Yeah,
you do.
Look at that wide passage you got there. I love the way your hips are good for birthing children. I like that in a person. That's how I decide my friends. I rate my friends in levels of birthing hips.
Oh my God. I rate my friends in levels of birthing hips.
Listen, why do you think I agreed to do the podcast with you? I needed a host with confidence, a nice voice, and great birthing hips.
Because no one would see it. They just need to know.
I need to know. That's a new shirt, like podcaster checklist, and it's like nice voice, confidence, good birthing hips.
Yes, please. I would wear it every day.
That's our new merch, available whenever I do it. Anyway, overweight was the question. The question was overweight. I think we're both in good shape, so I'm going to put below somewhat. Okay. Plain. Would you describe us as plain, Zoe? Do you think I'm plain?
No, we are spicy. We're like,
look at us.
We're like white people use too much salt. Spicy, like.
So yeah, we're gonna put very well. How do you describe your physical appearance? Healthy. I don't look as healthy as I am, so I'm gonna dock myself a few points. But where would you put yourself?
I look healthier than I am.
So that's interesting because I look less healthy than I am, and you look healthier than you are. So I'm just gonna put us at like a little bit above somewhat. Oh boy, perfect. How well does this describe your physical appearance? Sexy. Have you seen those outfits?
Yeah.
I with the outfits mixed with our amazing birthing hips, I have to click very well.
Yeah. Out of the outfits though, it's a different story. But in the outfits,
how happy are you with your physical appearance?
I hate my body, but
I think I got a decent
different
face.
Reasons. Oh yeah, my face is great, but my body is shit.
Let's do a point below somewhat happy.
Perfect.
Okay, let's see. I think this has been a delightful thing.
This is so good.
Okay, give us a glimpse. Okay, we got to do a more compatibility quiz. Oh no.
Here we go.
How well does this word generally describe you? Content.
Nope.
Nope, not at all. Patient. Nope. Our guest told us that they couldn't record until next week, and we're just recording on our own now. No patience. Passionate. I'm very passionate about this podcast.
Yes. I'm passionate about a lot of things in my life, more so than I should be.
Okay, Zoe, I know this is going to be very high for you and very low for me, but caring.
I care too much about everything.
Yeah. And I don't care enough. It's not that I don't care, I just don't care enough. So I'm going to put us a point above somewhat.
Okay.
Genuine. I'm not real for a fucking second on here.
I think I'm genuine. I think I'm genuine.
No. I think this is the most genuine. I think this is the most genuine I am on like social media is this podcast because I'm not genuine for a second most of the time I'm on TikTok because I'm never really that mad, but I always seem mad on my podcast on my videos. So I'm gonna put a point below very well just because as this podcast goes, we are. Oh no! How well does this word describe you, Zoe? Vivacious.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Vivacious. Let's see.
What does that even mean?
Let's see. Vivacious definition. Especially of a woman. Attractively, lively, and animated. Are you very well animated?
I think I am.
To be fair, if you're watching this podcast, you are watching a still drawing of us, so that's not very animated, but it's a little animated. So I'm going to put somewhat animated.
Yeah.
How well does this word describe you? Wise. Now, I've actually been told I have wisdom beyond my years, which is a dumb sentence.
I've been told that I'm very wise for my age, yeah. But I don't feel like I use that wisdom well, but I have it.
So let's put a point below very well. What word generally describes you? Bossy. Zoe, answer the question.
I am assertive.
Zoe, answer the question. I'm going to put a little bit above somewhat.
I am assertive, damn it.
Sure. Okay, this is interesting because it's like got top and bottom energy. How well does this word describe you? Leader.
I'm a leader. I have a 4-year degree that's my minor was leadership, so I'm a laissez-faire leader.
A laissez-faire. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do a point below very well. What word generally describes you? Irritable.
Maybe.
Okay. I'm gonna put somewhat then. Kind.
I don't know. Do you think I'm kind?
I think you're the kindest, and I think you're so kind that I'm gonna put very well in compensating for how not kind I am. What word generally describes you? Aggressive.
Let me tell you. I once stepped on a bug and it was terrifying.
Okay, we're gonna put a little bit below somewhat because I have some aggression. I was okay, Zoe. We're both podcasters, so let's put this high. But what word describes you? Outspoken.
Oh yeah, I mean
We're shouting. I told our fans to shout in
Yeah.
the streets.
yes.
Opinionated. I'm actually very opinionated. I don't know what your situation is.
I have strong opinions, but I don't always share them for fear of
Okay. So let's do
harming
somewhat.
someone else.
Restless. I sleep like a sack of potatoes, if that's what it's talking about.
But
I'm moving around
up-
constantly when I'm awake.
I wake up 10 to 15 times every single night.
Okay, so we're gonna put
Middle
somewhat
ground.
because we're on opposite sides of the. What word generally describes you? Romantic.
Oh, I am the type that will buy flowers for no reason and walk into my girlfriend's into Babe's workplace and be like, "Hey, I got you some flowers," and then walk out. I am super romantic.
That's so cute. I remember I was working at a gas station, and by pure coincidence, it was me and my girlfriend's anniversary, and I just got off work, and we were selling flowers. I can't remember why. And we were about to throw them away, and I was like, "Oh no, I'll take a bouquet of them," and I gave them to my girlfriend as soon as we got in the car, and she fucking started crying, like, and I was like, "I got you almost dead flowers."
It's still romantic. Flowers are romantic. Flowers and chocolate, and like
We're romantic as fuck.
yeah.
What word describes you?
tier.
Selfish. How well does I keep saying what word? How well does this describe you? Selfish.
I actually am a very selfless person, but I am working on being selfish, so I don't
Let's
know
put
what
a
the answer
point
to that.
above somewhat then.
Yeah.
Stubborn. I am right and always right.
I'm a
now.
fucking mule.
I'm stubborn, but not as stubborn as I think most people who are considered stubborn are. I'm on the lighter end of stubborn. I'm going to put in a point below very well anyway. Okay. If your best friend had to pick 4 words to describe you, which 4 from this list would they pick? Good listener, which is 2 words. Modest,
Okay.
respectful, affectionate, caring, spontaneous, physically fit, warm, outgoing, optimistic, dependable, romantic, creative, loyal, spiritual, kind, ambitious, articulate, rational, easygoing, generous, happy, quiet, genuine, intelligent, sweet, passionate, energetic, funny, and perceptive.
That was a lot of
Yeah,
words.
I'm just gonna pick them out for us. So let's go with creative.
Yep.
Let's go with sweet. Let's go with
Yeah.
it's not true, but for the sake of ASMR, let's go with quiet. And we're starting a podcast from the ground up, so ambitious.
Yeah.
All
like
right, we have so much more compatibility quiz to go. How well does this describe you? I do things according to plan.
Nope.
Nope. This
Nope.
podcast is a wreck. I take time out
mess.
for others.
Yes.
Yup. I feel unable to deal with things. Yup.
Yes.
I love to help others. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rate the one that's just above somewhat as yeah.
Yeah.
I seek adventure.
Adventure is out there, but I like my home more.
So somewhat. I desire sexual activity. Well, right now I'm making a podcast, but I mean
No.
maybe.
I'm dating an asexual, so if that puts anything into perspective for my sexual needs, there you go.
I'm not gonna get too into detail, but I'm a pretty needy individual, so I'm just gonna put.
Do you fuck hard?
No. It's very gentle, actually. Just
I'm
what's that
sorry, you
song?
can cut that
Tenacious Nope, I'm gonna double the volume.
I love it.
Do you fuck hard? Oh
You just clipped
no!
your mic, didn't you?
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Just leave
It's
it.
the
Just
one
leave the
time.
clip.
I'm not even gonna edit it. Oh no! I'm just gonna put somewhat. I often leave a mess in my room. Yup.
Actually, my room is really, really clean because I don't have a lot of
Somewhat
stuff.
it is. I often carry the conversation to a higher level. Does that mean like a better conversation, or I just talk more than the other person?
I mean, I think if it was the latter, you would win. You would be very high up there. But I think they mean the former.
Okay, so I try to keep the conversation flowing in a positive direction. I don't know about you.
I mean, yeah, unless the negative direction is going to have a good conversation, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, positive is in a better conversation, not a happier one.
Yeah. I think we're both decently good at that.
Let's put it at, yeah. I get stressed
we
out
have
easily.
a podcast.
Yup.
Yes.
I want to scream right now. I often make others feel good. It doesn't say that in any italics or quotes. It just says I often make others feel good.
I think so.
You make me feel good, Zoe. As a in like a platonic way. I don't want. There's gonna be a shipping market for us, and I just want to make sure that we nip everything in the bud, except for the fact that I proposed to you, episode 1. I often make others feel good. I think this podcast, we get so much good feedback from the podcast. I am gonna put very well.
I think
I am good at analyzing problems. Nope, no, I'm kidding.
I'm really good at that because a lot of my job is that.
I'm going to do step below very well because I think I am, but I honestly probably am not the best. I usually stand up for myself.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to put a somewhat
don't.
then.
I'm a super
I am easily
pushover.
discouraged.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a below very well, but I can handle a lot of information, somewhat. Like, I'm not bad at handling it. I waste my time. Well, I do have a podcast, so yup. No.
I mean, is that a waste though?
No.
Like,
I do waste a lot of my time, so I'm gonna put at least a one above somewhat. But I don't know what you should do, unless you don't waste any of your time at all.
I waste time, but it's on like hobbies, so I think it depends.
That's
on
not
what
a waste
describing
of
as
time.
waste. Yeah, so then it's probably fine.
Okay, by that, if we're counting hobbies as not a waste of time, I'm going to go below somewhat.
Yeah, because
I catch on quickly. I do. I catch on very quickly.
I do. Yeah. I'm like a sponge. You throw something at me, and I will just got it.
I'm like a sponge. You throw something at me, and I absorb water if it's liquid. If it's not, then it just bounces off of me because I'm a sponge. I usually wait for others to lead the way.
Yes.
I'm gonna put a little above somewhat then. I love order and regularity. Maybe I've never tried it, so I'm gonna put not at all. I've just never tried it. I often do nice things for people.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good. Selfishly.
I get angry easily. What I define as angry, I hardly ever get. I
get angry very rare. Like, I have not gotten truly, honestly angry in like 3 years.
My personal religious beliefs are important. I don't have any, so
I mean,
Zoe,
mine aren't really religious. Mine are more just spirit and soulful. So like, no.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put not at all. I ask questions in search of information. That is the point of a question. So very well.
Yes.
I think it is important to continually try to improve myself. I hope everyone thinks that.
Yes. I mean, not everybody does. Definitely.
I care about the
people
physical
in
shape
field.
I'm in. I do care about my physical shape, not as like I want to look attractive. I just want to be healthy. Like,
I care about my physical shape to be attractive. So we're the opposite in that, but I think we both care.
Yeah.
I don't care about being
feel
healthy,
better
I wanna
when
look good.
I'm around other people. Well, I think you look good, darling.
Oh, thank you.
No
I'm
Romo.
trying.
No
Romo.
You have the
question?
face for podcasting. I feel better
thank
when
you,
I'm around
thank
other
you.
people. The question is, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, we're on to my voice cracked so hard. Okay, we got 3 more compatibility quizzes to go. How often the past few months have you felt happy? And we got rarely. It's another 7 dot thing. Rarely, occasionally, and almost always.
What is this? Some kind of depression detector?
I'm gonna put above occasionally because
When's
I've
the
been
last
doing
time you felt truly happy? I don't know. Are you trying to divulge into my real life? Stop it.
I don't keep a joy journal, you asshole. I don't keep a fucking joy planner. Like, oh, I was joy. Better put it in at 3:00. I felt this. I smiled. Who the fuck do you think I am? I'm just gonna answer this and move on. No. I hope
That's
not.
a thing I needed.
How often in the past month have you felt sad?
Yesterday.
Yes, so I'm going to put a little above occasionally. How often have you felt anxious? Almost always.
Almost always. That anxiety is real.
Confident. I feel confident on the podcast.
I feel confident on the podcast. I feel
So
confident
as a
when I do TikTok
podcast, I'm going
videos,
to rate it high.
Yeah.
Hopeful. I have no hope.
I'm a very pessimistic person, but I'm hopefully pessimistic.
Okay, we're going to go with occasionally. How often have you felt fearful about future? Almost always.
Only
That's
when I'm
what life
having money
is.
problems.
Okay, I'm going to put above occasionally then. How often have you, in the past month, have you felt angry? Like once or twice?
Never.
Rarely it is. How often have you felt calm? Rarely.
Rarely.
How often in the past month have you felt fortunate? I feel fortunate every time I make a podcast, Zoe.
I feel fortunate every time I get to talk to
Having
you,
said that, we've
Kelvin.
recorded the podcast twice this month, so occasionally. How often in this past month have you felt out of control? This entire podcast is out of control. Almost
Yeah,
always.
Always.
How often have you, in the past month, have you felt fulfilled? Oh
Every
god,
day.
I just thought of the worst joke. I was about to say every time I fuck hard, just like that's a horrible joke to loop back to, but I'm gonna put almost always. Oh no, we found it. We found the depression detector. How often in the past month have you felt depressed? Occasionally?
We're doing this at the wrong time because the month just started.
Yeah, so we're gonna do the last month.
Okay. Occasionally.
So
works.
occasionally, yeah. Unable to cope.
Oh,
Almost
fuck.
always.
This quiz is coming for me.
Okay, back speaking of fucking hard, how often in the past month have you felt satisfied? I'm sorry for that joke. I'm satisfied every now and again, so not
Yeah,
sexually. Let's not
once in a
talk about
while.
my sex life, but like
I
in
mean, we
just
already
general.
have, so.
Yeah, we addressed it. How often in the past month have you felt misunderstood?
Oh,
Never. I speak very clearly.
I am.
Occasionally it is. Occasionally it is. How often have you felt plotted against?
The world is out to get me.
Almost always. No, I accidentally clicked almost always, so I guess we're doing it. Okay, let's see. Let's talk about our interests. How skilled are you at the following things? We have not skilled, somewhat skilled, and very skilled in our normal 7-point system. At creating romance in a relationship.
Very skilled.
Very skilled. I invented romance. Keeping physically fit.
Somewhat skilled.
Somewhat
for
skilled.
me?
Yeah. Finding and taking on challenging activities, like a podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put in the
100%.
middle. Yeah. What's your interest in watching movies? We have none, some interest, or very strong interest. I love movies.
I love movies, but I find I watch them less and less because I've been watching a lot more like YouTube.
Because you're a no good millennial with no attention span.
I know.
Let's put a
literally.
little bit above some interest then.
You talk about me being a millennial. You're a Gen Z. How dare you?
I think you're also a Gen Z. Like
I'm a cutoff year, 1996.
yeah, doesn't Gen Z start in 1995?
Gen Z starts in 1996 and millennials end in 1996. I'm literally cutoff year.
Hold on. The years
You
for
can
Gen
look it
Z.
up and you're gonna get 4 different answers.
Let's see. Let me look at all the answers here. This is important to me. Okay,
important
so this one
information.
says 1996 to 2010, and then millennials end on 1995. This one says that Gen Z starts in 1997.
Yep.
This one says that it starts on 1995. This one says that it starts in 1995.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, this is interesting. I'm not going to get into this very well, but this is like things and how they're like the differences between millennials and Gen Zs as far as popularity of things, or like common trends. And it's done by a college called CSU. I don't know much about it, but it's the more popular media for millennials was fantasy, and Gen Z was dystopian. Communication preference for millennials was text messages and Gen Z was images. This is a cool little thing. I might just link this. Oh, the Colorado State University. I might just link this in the fucking thing. It's just a nice little. That's neat. Yeah.
I
Anyway,
definitely identify more as a millennial with my experiences, though, because I have older siblings.
It's because we're both on the beginning of it. So
yeah.
Anyway, what's your interest in listening to music? Very strong.
A lot of music.
We have a section. Watching TV. I watch I watch some TV. I think they mean like shows and not movies, which I watch a lot of as like background noise kind of.
Yeah, I watch a lot of animated shows.
Yeah, let's put a little bit above some interest. What's your interest in reading? I actually read every night.
I read a lot.
Very strong interest.
Of
parties.
variety.
I don't go to parties. My last party was my birthday where I drank alone. My home is the club. Party like a rock star.
No,
we're not going to be in sync.
Often, but when I do, I party hard.
What's your interest in dining out?
I like to eat out at least once a week. When I can afford it.
Yeah, I think I'll put that above some interest. Traveling. I like to travel, but I don't like to travel too much because I don't like to leave my house.
I like to travel a lot, but I can't because my job and my funds. So
some interest. What's your interest in shopping? It's a necessary evil.
Fucking hate it.
Yeah.
I hate
What's your interest in
it.
family? My family's okay. Some of them.
I love my family, but I'm glad that I'm a state away now.
Yeah, I'm a country away.
Right. I love them.
Talking with friends. Oh yeah, I have very strong interest. I talk to you.
I'm doing this right now.
Okay, well, I'm trying to rush through. What's your interest in religious
Kelvin,
community?
are we
I think it's the problem. Yeah. What's your interest in religious community though?
No.
I think the way people act in a group is my problem. What's your interest in religious faith?
Religious what?
Religious faith. I'm not going to get too much into my religious beliefs, but I think to have faith in something without constantly testing it is the worst thing you can do. Mm-hmm. What's your interest in conversation? Very strong.
Strong.
What's your interest in hosting / entertaining? We're doing a podcast. Very strong.
We're here right now.
What's your interest in church involvement? None.
Nope.
It's fine if you're religious. We're just not. Okay, we're the last one. This is about relationship values.
Okay.
How well does each of the following describe you? And we got not at all, somewhat, very well. I try to accommodate the other person's position. I don't know what that means. Okay,
it means I think it means that you're trying if somebody has a different opinion or a different view on something, you try to accommodate and understand where they're coming from.
Which is interesting because the next question is I try to understand other people, which is what I do the most. Is try to understand, even if I blatantly disagree with someone, try to figure out what makes them think that. I try to be respectful of all opinions different from my own.
Yes.
I
am respectful, but you will be wrong if you're wrong.
I'll put below very well because I think some opinions are very toxic to the people around them.
Yes.
I try to resolve conflict well. Yes.
Yes.
I'm looking for a long-term relationship that will ultimately lead to marriage.
Nope. I don't believe in marriage.
Yeah, I'm also not a fan of marriage. So, nope. That's going to get us no matches. We're on eHarmony. When I get romantically involved, I tell my partner just about everything. I mean, over time, I don't really keep secrets.
I'm an open book. I mean, I talk to people about serious life shit when we've met 10 minutes.
Yeah, I have this problem where, if it just doesn't come up, I'm not hiding it, but if it doesn't come up in conversation, a month later I'll be talking to someone and I'll be like, oh yeah, so I got this guinea pig. I got a guinea pig, by the way.
Yes,
I got this guinea pig and they're like, when? And I'm like, a month ago. And they're like, why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, we didn't talk about anything related to pets. I don't know. It is difficult for me to let people get emotionally close to me. Nope, come on in, baby.
Yeah, come on in.
A serious, in quotes, relationship needs to be exclusive. No,
that is not true.
Yay for polyamory.
Yes.
I know I can always count on the people who are closest to me. I can count on you, right, Zoe? You just said you'd take a bullet for me.
I'll take a bullet for you any day of the week. Just tell me when to show up. I'll figure out how to get there.
I'm like 3 times your size. I think I could actually successfully take a bullet for you. I don't need to have close relationships to be happy. I actually don't, but I don't know
Oof.
what your opinion is.
I need at least one close relationship to be happy.
Okay, I'll put a little bit above, like, the middle. Being monogamous helps build intimacy and trust in a romantic relationship. No.
No.
I think that
no.
monogamy is the lack of trust for the most part. I mean, there's obviously
Yeah.
it's a very nuanced thing, but still.
Yeah.
People often let you down if you depend on them. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I'm going to put neither agree nor disagree. It is important for me to have close friends in my life, like Zoe, for example.
Oh, are we close friends?
I don't know. I talk to you like the third
great.
most.
I'm your third most talked to person of your friends?
It's like, yeah, honestly, I just don't talk to many people. Like, but yeah, like I do a podcast with you, which definitely puts you higher than most of my friends.
I'm honored. Thank you.
Yeah,
I mean, I probably
actually,
talk to you
of
most
people
anyone I
who are
talk
just
to,
friends
too.
and not romantic involvement. Then you are probably second, because it's like my best friend Des, and then you.
That's crazy. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired.
You're gonna
Come
cry.
on.
This one's all about monogamy. I swear, being exclusive, i.e., monogamous, is one of the benefits of being in a successful relationship.
No.
No.
I'm in a relationship where there's only two of us, and I don't think that that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Sometimes find it difficult to trust people when I get romantically involved with. I think the fact that I think to have a romantic relationship, I need to feel like I can trust someone. So I absolutely disagree.
Exactly.
I find it easy to get emotionally close to people. For me, it's like a water faucet that's like frozen. Like it takes a while for me to get emotionally close to people, but once it happens, it's just full blown.
Nope. If somebody is open, I will be wide open, and we'll just emotionally connect.
I'll put
But
above.
it's usually
I'll
up
put
to
it
the
in
other
the
person.
agree area. How important in a relationship is the partner's dependability. I'm gonna put somewhat like above somewhat important. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
I understand if my partner's sex appeal. So I'm gonna, since you just said you're dating an asexual, let's back it out a little bit. Like, how important is like the physical attraction of someone that you're in a relationship with? And I don't think it's the most important thing, but I definitely want to be, like, I want the person I'm with to be someone I don't mind looking at kind of deal, because I have to look at them for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, but mine is more, and this is going to sound super shallow of me, but more physical, like body physical, like not like appearance-wise, but like if someone is like, for me, if somebody is very out of shape, and they're not making efforts to like be healthy, even if it's not working out.
For me, that's
eating
like
healthy,
a personality thing. Like, if you don't have the
Yeah.
motivation to keep yourself in,
yeah, it speaks to who they are, and that's my struggle. I'm like, if you're
I'm
not
gonna put
trying
above
to be,
somewhat important, because like I'm not dating someone purely based off their appearance, but
Right,
it's definitely a part.
right.
Oh, no, I guess the next question was my partner's physical appearance. I'm just gonna answer it the same. How important is enjoying the way I feel around my partner? That's like the entire point of a relationship, right?
Why are you in a relationship if you don't enjoy being around your partner?
Our sexual
partners.
compatibility.
I mean, I'm not asexual, so I don't really need compatibility, because obviously I don't have that right now, but
I talked about this. I don't want to, but if it came down, like I could date an asexual. Like, that doesn't bother me. So I'm gonna put a little bit above, not at all important.
yeah.
The friendship between me and my partner, I definitely I want to be able to get along and spend
Yeah.
large periods talking to my
Yes.
enjoy
whole point,
physical
is to talk to
closeness to
somebody.
my partner. So do you like being physically close to Haley?
I love cuddling, babe.
Do you
I
like
love
touching her
cuddling
soft little face? I assume her face is soft and
Yes.
little. I don't actually know what your
It's not
girlfriend looks
little.
like off the top of my head.
She's-
I think I love that. I love the physical. I like touching people,
Yes.
emotionally and physically. Being able to spend time as much as possible with my partner. So this is really just asking: is your love language quality time?
Yeah. But I don't like
I guess-
clingy. I can't.
My
I can't do
definition
clingy.
of spending time together is very different. Like, I would consider it quality time if I'm sitting there, like, playing a video game and they're playing a different video game on their phone or something. Like, that's something I do with my partner.
Yeah.
Like, I could do with my partner. Like, I
Right.
consider that quality time because we're close to each other.
Yeah.
If I think of something funny or a dumb joke, I can look over and be like, hey, babelet.
Yeah, or if you find a funny meme, you can share it. Like, it's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
literally
Yeah,
half
that's-
the time I
It
spend
makes me
with
feel
Haley,
close,
with
yeah.
Babe.
Okay, so I'm going to put above somewhat important. I don't think it's like the most important thing to me. Doing special things to let my partner know how important he or she is to me. I like to do that,
Yes.
but I'm currently way too stressed to do much of any expression of any feelings. My life is sad right now. I think we're done.
Are we?
We're not going to let's see. It wants us to upload photos, so I'm just going to upload podcast art.
I love that.
Let's see. Let's upload the icon. Let's upload the actual image that we used for the visual version. Let's upload the hydrate or dihydrate. And let's upload a picture of Connor.
Yes.
As this is the official TikTok news podcast.
Yes, because he is our what did he call himself?
Producer?
Producer, yes, that's what it was.
Executive producer Connor Taz.
Yes.
and Roomba Taz.
Yeah,
I need to
because
convince
this-
Roomba to change his name from Roomba 2017 to Roomba Taz.
Yes.
Roomba, if you're watching, Liam, if you're watching this episode, they are not going to approve these photos. It is clearly 4 very different things.
Yes.
Done. How we match.
Beautiful.
Okay, cool. Let me see. Let me get those matches. Oh, now it wants us to pay.
Yeah,
So that is
I
the
wish-
end of that.
I wish we had money so we could let it go live and see what if we got any matches. If anyone.
I'm gonna leave this here. This account's been made, and we're gonna talk about it later once we
Yeah.
make enough Patreon money.
I
Having
love
said
it.
that, we have been recording for an hour and a half, almost an hour and 40. So let's start getting ready to do that closing shill, if we will. I'm gonna pull up my little pinned message.
You know,
Our
it's so
little
funny.
ch-
With just
our
the
little
two of
cheat
us.
sheet.
With just the two of us, we can just talk about like how we can be unprofessional and then just cut it out later or not cut it out later. We don't have to worry about making our guests look bad or like making our guests think that we.
Oh, I
suck.
have no problem making our guest look bad. It's fine. Anyway, thank you guys all for coming. If you want to email us your eHarmony account and have us rate it, you can do so by emailing us at gmail.com at lonelyboyhour@gmail.com, not just gmail.com.
Just email
if you want to help,
gmail.com.
if you want both of us to get out of the closet, subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/lonelyboyhour. If you only got $1, that's fine. We'll take your $1.
Yeah.
We'll take your money.
Any
If you guys want to check
money's
us outside of here, check out our social medias. I am the Noodle Doodler. You can find me on TikTok and YouTube at THENOODLE, DOODLER. Or if you want to find me out
job.
on YouTube, on Twitter, or shut up, I'll fight you. If you want to find me on Twitter or Instagram, I post some things there every now and again. You can find me at True Nude Dude. And then Zoe, where can we find you?
You can find me on TikTok at Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram at TrashZ. That's TRAZHIE. Or you can find me on Twitter, where I do a lot of posting. I'm a superb Twitter person.
The
I'm a
Twitteriest.
tweeter. Yes. You can find me at Original TrashZ because I could not get my actual username.
Oh, yeah. Next up is the song recommendations. Zoe, do you have a song for us?
Yes. So currently only has a YouTube channel with her music on it, but I'm hoping that she will get Spotify because she's amazing. She does a lot of original songs and a lot of covers. Her name is Abby Glover or Glover. I think it's Glover. So it's
And do you have a song for
ABBEY
us?
and then GLOVER. And the song is I Don't Know What I Want.
I'm going to be recommending another lesser known, but I still love them. They're a band called Blair Crimmins and the Hookers.
Ooh.
I love them. You guys definitely check them out. I recommend their song "Top of the Class." It's actually a song about how you shouldn't be ashamed of one night stands or friends with benefits.
Oh.
And I love it. Their music isn't actually about hookers, for the record. It's before anyone asks. That's just a pure coincidence. They do some like relating to hookers because they it's more of a commentary on the music industry and not on actual prostitution.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that is all, and I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode. So make sure to go out and get tested.
And hydrate or dihydrate.